Good morning, ladies. Just checking the sound. Can you please tell me if you can hear me? Great. Just going to give a few more minutes for folks to join in. Can you also can you see the slides? Very good. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I have about, I think, 13 people registered, so not sure if where they are, if they're having any trouble getting on. So we can go ahead and get started and while they join in. Good morning again. This can be an intimate presentation. Um, So you don't need any introduction. So I'm just gonna jump right into what I wanted to share with you all today. So basically, a lot of things have been changing with Google with respect to the tools available for businesses, search criteria, search guidelines, and a lot of different things. So I just my goal is to kind of get everyone up to date on what's going on and what's available for businesses to leverage in terms of marketing and just managing day-to-day operations on Google as it relates to your business. So the key components, as I always talk about, site, search, social, and mobile. We're going to touch on site and search today. There are a lot of things uh, in those two areas, and there are some changes too. So just so everybody's up to date on those. So if you haven't already, so just these are at a very high level some of the Google tools that are available for your business. Of course, Google Chrome is what is recommended for most businesses so that you can integrate a lot of different things to streamline your operations. So the browser itself, Google Chrome, is built for speed and simplicity and, of course, security. Google Calendar for scheduling, collaborating within the teams, with clients, and basically to organize your day-to-day events. Gmail, I recommend Google Apps for email for businesses. Again, it allows you to integrate and collaborate easily, and it's easier to manage from mobile devices, from desktop, laptop, and everything. Google Drive. This is something that some businesses use, but a lot of them don't. It's very affordable. Google Drive backup. I use for my business. I back up my entire laptop to Google Drive. It's very seamless. Have a Google Drive app on your laptop, and as and when, and you map a folder from your laptop to Google Drive, and as and when you make changes to any of those folders that are shared with Google Drive, it automatically updates. You may choose to turn the automatic updates off and just do it as and when you need it, but just keeping it on is the best way so that you don't have to remember to back up things that you may, sometimes forget and lose data. In Google Cloud Print, this is something which is very convenient. Basically, you connect your printer to the web, so it allows you to print from any of the devices that you typically work on a daily basis. Google Voice, again, many businesses already use this feature for phone numbers that you don't have to get a separate phone number for your business, register a phone number with Google Voice and map to your cell phone, and you have your own phone number, voicemail system, and everything for your business. And those are for basically streamlining your operations. Now, as it comes to managing your website and marketing tasks, these are some of the tools that I recommend. Webmaster tools and analytics, of course, for your website. These are two essential tools that every business or every website needs. Webmaster Tools allows you to keep a diagnostic health check on your website. Anything that is affecting your website negatively, that is any malware infiltration or broken links on the website, Google tracks it for you daily, and so you can stay on top of the health of your website. And analytics is for keeping track of the traffic on your website and how really your customers and visitors are using your website, the different pages on the site, and what kind of traffic you're getting and where they're coming from, what keywords are being used well, for the traffic that's driven to your website. And this may not apply to you, but Merchant Center, this is for businesses that have products and services that they sell online. And Google Alerts, this is something that is very useful. So if you go to alerts.google.com and set up the alerts that you would like to monitor, it may be related to just yourself or your business name or keywords related to your business, the services or products that you offer. Really, when people are searching in the area for those services, Google sends you alerts. So you don't have to receive alerts as and when they happen. You can set it up so that you receive maybe daily or weekly digest on those searches that are happening on Google. And AdSense, a custom search engine, this is another useful tool that you can install on your website. Basically, this allows you to uh, kind of look into intelligence data as it pertains to when someone lands on your website. If you have a search feature on the website, what are they searching for? Right, for whether if it's IT business or business coaching or any of the keywords related to that. If they're searching on your website, that tells you, if you don't have any content pages related to those searches, that's something that you may want to add on the website. So it allows you to look into that intelligence data as how people are searching on your website. And the next bullet is Places for business. So that's basically Google Places that you claim with Google, and that's used in local search criteria. And Google Translate, this is for businesses that allow people to look at their in different languages. And Google Sites are for your internal use. If you want to have like employee training materials, employee payroll, employee operations manual, and things like that, you can have like an intranet site on Google where you can store all these documents securely. And moving on to media, YouTube, Google Books, and Google Maps are the tools that a lot of businesses use. And for social, it's Google Plus, Google Hangouts, Google Moderator, and Blogger is a blogging tool from Google where you can post blogs and share on social media and things like that. So just a quick check on the things that you need to be looking at when you launch a website. So here's a checklist. Of course, you have to secure a domain for the website. If your development team is using just like a temporary domain while they're working on the site, when it's time to launch your website, you secure your domain, and of course purchase hosting. And the hosting package, in the past, it used to be just, hosting, right? So now these are, some additional things are recommended. SSL certificate. So this is kind of a mandatory feature that Google recommends for all businesses, especially if you're collecting forms on the website. So you have that HTTPS instead of HTTP. So that's a secure link. So basically, SSL certificate encrypts any data transfer between your website and the server where it's hosted. So when people are logging in or submitting forms, that data is not hacked while it's being transferred from the front end of your website to the server. So that's the safety feature that Google wants on all websites now. And scheduled backup and site security. Site security is to prevent any hacking to the website. If you're hosting your website on GoDaddy, HostGator, or any of these, they have built-in a security feature that you pay additional, few dollars per month to really have that your site secured and the firewall installed for your website. So moving on, so you have, make sure that your website is mobile compatible. Run a mobile compatibility test. And once the site is uploaded to the hosting server, make sure there are no broken links and create Webmaster profile. Generate sitemap and submit to Google, install Google Analytics, and most importantly, make sure, if you're working with some outsourcing these tasks to other companies, make sure you have ownership of all these website related accounts. So now, you have the website up and going. So how are you going to use this website to generate leads? Just having the website and hosting it somewhere is not enough. It's not really, yeah, if you hand a business card to someone and have your URL, they will go to your website and look at it. But otherwise, how are people finding you? How are they taking advantage of the content and any expertise that you are able to offer for the problems or the solution problems that they are trying to find solutions for. So these are some of the basic things that you can do on your own before even hiring any marketing company. So keyword research. This you can use free keyword research tool that's available on Google. So this is really important for you to have at your disposal all the time. So this helps you really to do your research and also to come up with the content that is relevant and that's really people are searching for. So keyword research is a basic step for any marketing. So once you have a set of keywords that are related to the services that you offer, the next step is to kind of run an audit using those keywords on Google to see where you stand on different areas of search results. So the first and foremost is, just go to your Google search and search for a keyword that's one of the top keywords in your list of keywords, right? So yeah, I'm just going to switch to the next slide really quick here. I don't know how good you can see this. Let me see if I can change this to 100%. So few areas that you need to pay attention to here. This slide is not very clear. So the first 4 items here are pay-per-click, right? And the second area you see here is Google Map. And third area here, this is Google Local Search. Google Map is a part of Google Local Search. And then the area below this is the organic search. So switching back to the previous slide, so let me go back to 75% here. Okay, so the pay-per-click or Google AdWords is the paid advertising that you can use for your business, and this is not relevant for all businesses. So you really have to see when you search for your keyword. The slide I showed you earlier with the searches is for a search for personal trainer in my zip code. So I see a lot of businesses running pay-per-click ads. They're on Google Map, Google Search, because personal trainer or fitness places like gyms, these are physical locations. So Google Search is really important. Local search, a presence is it's really key to those businesses. So you really have to see if there is any competitor that's running the pay-per-click ad and if it makes sense for your business. And the next one is the local search. So that's the map and the reviews section that I showed you. So you can do an audit for your local search presence. Go to getlisted.org, put your business name and the zip code where you're listed for your Google business page. And this tool will show you how well you're listed in local search engines by percentage. So and going down here, the searching for the keywords in these phrases. So Google recently changed this local search results section, and before there used to be 4 or 5 businesses that are showed. Now it is condensed to 3. So we call it 3-pack listing. So it's hard to get there unless you really follow those guidelines from Google on how to get there. So just eventually it will happen for the keywords that you're focused on. You just have to follow the guidelines, which I'm going to cover later in these slides, especially for local search. So Deborah, can you share shape pointers on how to find the right keywords? Yeah, I will touch on that. If not in this presentation, maybe in the next one. So at the end of the presentation, so I'll show you the keyword tool to use to get those keywords. So after local search, Tatiana, is it a good to change the list of keywords once in a while? I mean, the keywords for new articles in the blog or keywords for links. Yeah, it's I would say do a revisit your keyword list once a quarter. Typically the content plan we recommend to for you to do once a quarter. That's when you do the keyword research and see what keywords are currently in demand. And this is also a good time to use your keyword analytics and keyword search console data from your Webmaster tools and Google Analytics profiles. See which keywords are bringing traffic to your website and where you show up on those, in ranking for those keywords. And that will give you good data on how to redesign your keywords and come up with new articles for those keywords to tackle those keyword phrases that people are searching for. And then perform an audit for organic search rankings. Again, so this first step, keyword research, is the key to doing all of these audit. So search for those keyword phrases to see where you rank in organic search results. That's the 4th section I showed you in the tool or in the slide. Organic search, you remember, it's a long-term strategy. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take months and sometimes over a year to get you to where you want to be. So it's just kind of start following the guidelines, start doing your content marketing as per the guidelines, and keep monitoring how you're moving up in ranking for those keyword phrases. I would say, start with maybe 5 keyword phrases and track. You can use tracking. Now, Webmaster tools, the Search Console allows a really good way to track. It shows you your position in ranking for those keywords that you're tracking. So really, and there are other tools, third-party tools that you can use too. But Google tool is free, so I would say start there. and they really track how you're progressing in ranking. That's the only way to improve your ranking on Google. So if you're doing anything wrong with your content, you're not getting any traction for those keyword phrases in ranking, maybe you need to change some of your strategy. In addition to content, link building is another key criteria for SEO. So we're going to cover that in the next month's presentation. We're going to talk more about SEO itself, and focus for this session is local search. So we're going to go over that, but just at a high level, content and link building are the two key criteria for SEO. And for local search, it's reviews and uh, good content and listing on local directories are the key criteria for local search. And so the next step here is perform audit on your online reputation. So what does that mean? Online reputation is really how well people receive your service and what they think about the service that you offer. So it's good to have that feedback online so that people that don't know you, don't know your services, they can learn from people that have used your services. So that's a good strategy to have to really it acts as social proof for your business. And we already looked at the slide. So once you did all this audit, you did looked at pay-per-click, Google AdWords, local search, organic search, online reputation. So that's a baseline. So you got your website, you got the baseline of your online presence. That's a good start. So now you can come up with a plan, right? So one last step that you need to do before you come up with a plan is, of course, look at your social media presence. For a lot of businesses, this is very important, even though there are a lot of issues going on with Facebook right now with privacy issues and things. Facebook is not going to go away that easily because a lot of businesses depend on it. So Facebook is working on revising their privacy laws and regulations. And just today I heard that Facebook is stopping their data sharing contracts with a lot of what they call data brokers. What does that mean for a lot of businesses? They may not get all the information they want to do a targeted marketing and advertising on Facebook, but still that data most of the data is still available, if not all of it. So businesses are going to continue advertising on Facebook, and there is a target market there. So it is important for you to still continue doing that. In addition to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Again, the next step the competitive analysis. This is going to help you understand how your market is using online tools for marketing. So what social platforms that are engaging their target market on, what type of content that they are publishing online. So this competitive analysis step, this is also very So when you did the search in the previous step, so just note down name a few competitors that you want to do research on, and do this 4 steps. So note down your competitors, visit their websites, see how well their website is written, how it with social media, and with their social media profiles. See how many how strong their network is and how they're engaging their target market on social media. And look at, try to get a feel for their content marketing strategies, the blog, social media posts, YouTube videos, reviews, ebooks. So any type of the content that you can get a handle on. So this is how you learn on how to really engage your prospects and clients online and provide useful content to them. So at the end of the day, you're doing all this so that you can present yourself as subject matter expert and be useful to the people that depend on your services to solve the problems that they have in their business, or if it's a B2C consumer business, consumer, so any of that type of services. So now create a plan of action. So if you are already kind of budgeting your marketing resources for the quarter, for the year, or however you do it, so see how you can allocate your marketing budget for the things that you need to do. If it's Google AdWords, local search, organic search. So organic search, you have to really, this is a long-term strategy. So you have to set aside money to continue this for 8 to 12 months. So always make sure that if you're going to jump into it, don't jump into it just to do it for 2 to 3 months because you're just wasting your money. Because if you just do it for 2 to 3 months and stop it, eventually you're going to lose your ranking if you don't continue. So just focus on local search first. That's um, sort of a short-term strategy, but you can get your ranking more quicker than organic search. And then online reputation, reviews, social media, content strategy, and of course, in addition to all the online things we do, we all have to focus on offline strategies as well, because that's where you are in the community, in front of people, so that they learn about what you do, and any strategic partnership that's out there for you to tap into, community outreach, volunteer work, and that type of stuff. All of these really eventually will translate into online reviews and points with Google. And now you're done with the audit step. So what are the next steps for you to go about? So make sure you are securing all your profiles for your brand on all the online channels that make sense to you. You may not actively engage your target on all of these platforms, but it's really important that you have your profile secure. Google Place for Business is it's the first and foremost that you want to have your business claimed. Make sure the profile is 100% complete. Post pictures, videos, any type of content that you can have, and optimize your Google business profile. And create a YouTube channel. For example, right now I'm doing the webinar, right? So, and I'm recording this webinar, so I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel and give access to people to view it. For those that Rayan just asked a question. I'm late, so can I get a replay of this? Yeah, it's going to be available from my website, so you can go into my YouTube channel and watch the recording of this website and enter presentation. Right, so, and you can do very short information videos on tips and resources that pertains to your product and services, and post on your YouTube channel. And again, the keywords research that you did before, you can use that to optimize your YouTube channel with your keywords, title, and description. All right, so that's how when someone goes on youtube.com and searches for videos on certain topics, that's how YouTube lists those based on the keywords and description. So you need to optimize those. And make sure your business is listed on Google Maps if this is something that you see customers at your location. So this is important to have. And based on the results from your previous comparative analysis, if it's relevant, so have your Facebook page for your business, Twitter profile for business, LinkedIn profile for yourself, that's important, and also a LinkedIn page. And Instagram, a lot of businesses are using this lately, mainly for videos, because people tend to watch short Instagram videos on different topics. So that's a good place to have your brand. You will figure out eventually, that's really working for you or not, but just having that brand will give you the flexibility to integrate and post and measure that the results on those platforms. Of course, integrate all your social media profiles on your website so people have a way to get to those, link to those from the website, and add all of those to your email signature, so that that's another way when you send out email newsletters or just one-on-one emails to your clients and prospects. Your email signature has all those links that people can go look at. Business LinkedIn page or just personal? Personal LinkedIn page is, I would say, is more critical. If you have multiple employees in the company and uh, have them all linked to your page, so LinkedIn page makes sense. And also, sometimes there are other businesses who like to follow your business to see what's going on, what changes are happening, to learn about more about your business. So it's good to have a LinkedIn page for your business as well, whether you engage or not. And the other thing is when if you're using social media publishing apps like Hootsuite, Buffer, or any of those, they all allow you to publish to LinkedIn pages as well. So, why not have a page there so that you have your brand as a business page for people to follow. But I would say personal is more important because people do like to learn more about the person that they're going to be working with. So. Now we're going to jump a little bit more into local SEO because this is the biggest search trend for 2018. So that's the second area that I showed you, Google Maps and the reviews, right? So Google My Business Listing, it's an absolute essential feature for local search. It's free to set up if you don't already have one. And it's one of the best things you can do to improve local SEO visibility. So before you do any local search optimization, you need to have Google Business Page because all these other directories validate your data based on what you have on your Google Business Page. So make sure you have claimed your page and the profile is complete, and the information is accurate. Right? So really optimize your business profile, long and unique description of your business. Again, make sure you use the keyword research data to come up with unique description and write it so that it still sounds natural, and those keyword phrases flow organically in your descriptions and how you present your business on the page. And Google also gives you, when you build your page, you have an option to choose the category of your business, whether it's professional services or healthcare, IT. So there are different areas or the categories that you can choose from, and make sure the information is accurate about when your business is open, holidays, and that type of stuff. And images, videos, phone number, business address, and reviews from customers. So these are all the key things that you need to have on your Google business page. And note that Google prohibits the use of PO boxes and virtual offices. So for those of you, if you have a home-based business, so it's okay to build your business page using your home address. And when you build it, the page, you have an option to check a box so that the home address is not publicly displayed to everyone. But Google does need a physical address to verify because you're going to receive a postcard in the mail to verify that's where that address is where it's going to come, and it cannot be a PO box. Now, this is how the local SEO ecosystem looks like. See how convoluted the network is. So there are a lot of different local directories that you can list your business to get that local search ranking in that 3-pack. And not even in 3-pack, people do click on more and look at other listings. So at least make sure you're in that list somewhere. Right. So in the United States, for businesses, there are 4 primary sources of data. for all the major search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing. These use info group, Axiom, Localese, and Factual. So these four are what we call data aggregators. You can submit to these four, and remaining these other local directories share data from these four major data aggregators. So if you like, I can send this slide so you can look at who is sharing data with who. So you see the major directories that are local, like Google Plus, Yelp, Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare, Bing, YP.com, that's Yellow Pages, Super Pages, Yahoo, um, and these just to name a few that you need to list. So typically when we do local search optimization, we list your businesses, our client businesses in up to 50 to 60 local directories that these can tap into and make sure the name and address and phone number are consistent across the board on all of these directories. So moving on with local SEO basics, citations. Citations are very important for local SEO. Every mention of your website online is treated as a citation, whether it's good or bad. So more citations are good for your business, local SEO. So how do you gather these citations, or how do you get these citations online, right? So the first step is start with the most notable business review directories, such as Yelp, Yellow Pages, City Search, of course, Facebook, Twitter, Google. These are all treated as Google, as the local directories. But Google business page itself, it's not a citation. It's an essential, the first directory that you had be listed. Right, and then you can continue listing on all of these directories. And I have this directory listing here. I can send this to you. This has about a top 100 online business directories that you can choose from. So this is a tedious process. So you can either choose to do these submissions manually. So if you choose to do that, maybe start submitting up to 7 directories per week, right? So just set aside some time. Because it does take time to submit to these directories, because you need to, when you're doing it manually, you have to enter your business information over and over again on all of these, right? So what I suggest is, if you like, I can share that citation spreadsheet with you. So just fill out your information, complete that spreadsheet, and keep it aside for use, so that you have one way of consistently submitting your information online. So once you have that spreadsheet complete, every time you sit down to submit to these directories, just open up that spreadsheet and just go down the list, just copy paste that information into these directories. Right, so each directory is built differently, so they may request for information in a different order, but in any case, you will have all the information that regarding your business to submit to these directories. And you can also choose the tools that do the submissions for you. And these are also doing these submissions manually. They have their teams that are helping you do this, but uh, these are not very expensive, so you can take a look at it. Like Bright Local is one of the tools that we use, and Moz.com. And there's also White Spark. This is a little bit pricier than the other two, but all these do the same thing. So they basically, the spreadsheet that I mentioned about, you enter the data once you create an account with these guys, and these will take care of the submissions for you. And they charge you per directory or per collection of directory, just depends on which tool you're using. So they're all good. So they takes up to 3 to 4 months for these submissions to complete. Because the way these submissions work is we submit your business to these directories, and they had to validate them and accept those submissions. If they didn't accept it, if they ask for more information, we had to go back and those or provide that additional information for those submissions to complete. And these also have an option for you to choose to submit to the 4 data aggregators that I mentioned to you about, the info group, Localese, Factual, and Newstar. So this will submit to those data aggregators as well. So I strongly recommend using this so you don't have to just sit there and manually submit these to these directories. So that's for the local directories. And the next is pick and choose any niche specific business directories and create profiles there. And you can look for industry specific directories. For example, if you when you are looking for a restaurant, you see City Search has restaurant reviews, Open Table has restaurant reviews, Zomato has restaurant reviews. So these are local directories that's specific to restaurants and are um, websites like Trulio, Zillow, Trulia, Zillow for real estate. So there are industry specific that you can find and create your profiles there in addition to the ones that you submit in this bullet. And look for local business community website and grab your your listing there. Check if the Chamber of Commerce is allows you to submit your website link there. So that's another listing in the local directory. So we already talked about data aggregators, and look for any other opportunity. If you are a speaker, if you are going on speaking engagements, have that venue provide a link to your website from there. That's a citation with your business name. And if you have any, local newspaper websites, they are, if you can grab a citation there, that's great as well. And any of these submissions that you do, make sure name, address, phone number. We call it NAP, consistency. So it needs to be consistent across the board. So when you go to getlisted.org, the one that I mentioned earlier, slide, that shows you the inconsistencies in your listing across the board. That's one way to go about fixing those as well. Okay, moving on. So I can't say enough about reviews. Reviews are really very critical for your business. Not just for Google ranking, just for people to look at them as well. Uh, you can use different platforms to collect reviews. So this, as I mentioned before, reviews work as social proof. People, before they choose a product or a service, they need reassurance and confirmation that these actions are the right ones. They're choosing the right provider for the service that they need help with. And Bright Local, this is one of the local search submission provider. So according to their survey, 88% of people read reviews to determine the quality of a local business before they sign up with them. So that kind of gives you an idea why it's important. And so there are different ways that you can collect reviews. Of course, you have your Google business page. You can once you have that, there's a way for you to get a link. Before it used to be just your Google business page where people went to write reviews. Now, unless they do a search uh, and find your Google business page, if you want to send a link to them in the email, there's a way for you how you can get that link for posting. So I can send that resource to you if you like. The Google does not give you that link directly from your Google business page, right? So use that. And Google reviews is an important resource. And you can also use other review sites like Yelp, City Search, Yellow Pages. Facebook reviews are also treated as signals. So don't ignore reviews on other sites. Right? So, and there are, according to moz.com, this is another resource that we use for local search. 8.4% of in this statistics in this pie is used from reviews. 8.4% is goes towards review signals. So how Google uses the ranking criteria. So 8.4% of that criteria comes from how the reviews are. So reviews are used as signals for the ranking criteria. And this is just my just a search on my business, for example. So I search for I'm listed on Google, Kriti Web Solutions LLC. That's the business name, and Google reviews are listed here. And I use a third-party tool called Customer Lobby for my reviews. And you see, I did not put that link there for Google, but Google knows these third-party review website. It lists the Google Customer Lobby reviews, the rating and how many reviews are, and people can click on that link and go look at those reviews. So it's important for you to have reviews, doesn't matter where, but start collecting reviews for your business. And you make sure that you fill up that first page with that. When somebody search for your business, it should show up those reviews on the first page, because this is the last step that people do or go through before they sign up with you. Look at the reviews. Now, how to collect reviews? So you have to be proactive, right? So what's the first thing you have to be always mindful of? If you want reviews, focus on providing the best possible. That, we all know that, and we are probably, all of us are doing a great job with it. So provide best possible customer experience when they take your service, right? That's the most important thing to do. That's the most natural way to get reviews. So once customers are happy with your service, and most customers will only feel compelled to leave a review once they get a great service from you. So make sure this is it's a great experience working with you. So that's the first and foremost thing anyone can do. And of course, a lot of times people don't take the time to write reviews. So you have to give them a nudge. So hand out cards, print on receipts, or send out emails customers when they're asking. So when you send them an invoice when the service is completed, or when they send you an email, how happy they are with your service, just respond to them, thanking them, and then send them a link where they can write a review, right? And also, send them a personalized email about writing a review. On social channels, so on Facebook, they can go review on your Facebook page, and occasionally post or tweet asking for reviews, right? So don't overdo it. Just ask once in a while. And if there are any negative reviews, this can happen to any of us, right? So we can't make everyone happy. Of course, we all try to, but that may not happen. That's not realistic. So if someone does write a negative review about you, respond to that review in a reasonable way, and take time to understand where they're coming from and resolve it as soon as possible. So this certainly leaves a positive impression. A lot of times, once this happens, people may choose to remove that review. Only they can remove the reviews that they wrote, right? So you cannot. So there are different ways that you can handle those situations. So just being proactive is the best way to collect good reviews from customers. And another handy way is just have a landing page on your website with a little, a short blurb on why you appreciate your feedback, and provide the link where they can write reviews. So there's this is the tool that I use, Customer Lobby. The good thing about using Customer Lobby is once someone submits a review on Customer Lobby, you get an email to moderate that review, because it's not automatically published unless you moderate and manually publish it. And once you publish it, that goes to Yelp, your Facebook, your Twitter, and there are a couple of other social media that you can link to. So this Customer Lobby review post syndicates to all of these different platforms at once. So it's a good way, and it's also ranked by Google. So and there are also other review platforms like Thumbtack is one of them. Many businesses use, and I think there's a Demand Force most doctors use. So there are different review platforms that you can tap into, and of course, all these platforms are not free, but they're worth having, because they give you an easy way to collect reviews, and they're legit. and they are ranked by search engines. And make sure you get a steady flow of reviews that looks more realistic. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had an interaction with a client that they don't have any reviews right now, but they were so anxious about getting reviews. They were like, okay, I'm going to get 50 reviews in 1 week. I'm going to ask this and this. So that's not a good idea. So it doesn't look natural. So Google may even take those reviews down. So make sure that these Googles are realistic and you're collecting them over time. These are some of the guidelines from Google as a Google and Yelp and some other directories. So as a local business owner, you have to abide by fair business practices that protect consumers and protect your company. Of course, in these days and times, while we're going through all these privacy issues, data piracy, and all that. So it's important to follow these guidelines really carefully, especially for businesses. Make sure you're not spamming on any platform, right? So the first step is when you sign up on any platform, make sure that you familiarize yourself with the review guidelines on those platforms. For example, Yelp does not permit businesses to ask customers for a review, but Google is fine with that practice. So be aware of that. And similarly, Yelp does not permit former employees to write reviews of the business. But Google's guidelines don't prohibit someone who no longer works for the business in question from submitting a review. So these are in fine prints on these platforms. So make sure you understand all these guidelines and follow them. Because once you get into that issue of review spamming, it's really a costly mistake. It's going to cost you time, money, and a lot of headache to get past that. So never offer payments of any or any other incentives because I have seen people or businesses offering incentives in exchange for reviews. So it's against the guidelines from these review platforms, and never ask your employee to review your company or review yourself. And sometimes customers may not have the time to write a review, and you may be anxious to just go ahead and write. They may have sent you a review in the email, but if they didn't have time, so I strongly suggest don't post on their behalf. It has to come from their email address and their login, so your customers have to post those reviews. And never hire any agency that offers to generate reviews for you from non-customers. So there are some businesses that are telling you that they're going to get you 50 or 100 reviews in a week or 2 weeks. Don't use them. But there are platforms like, for example, Customer Lobby. They do have a feature where they give you a few calls for free. You will give them a list of customers that you want to call, and they call on your behalf, collect the reviews, and submit on your page. You still have to moderate and publish them, but you approve the list who they're calling, and they are your customer list. So that's one way to do it, but don't be fooled by these businesses that are offering you reviews for money. So we covered a lot. So we still have a lot to cover in local SEO as well as in for search engine optimization. So we are going to discuss these and much more on search-related topics in our next month. So we're at the top of the hour. So if you have any more questions, I'll take a few minutes to answer those for you. And this recording is going to be available from my website. I'm going to send out an email so you can go and review that. You already know what we do and how we can help you. Just update on the next session. This is actually session 3. So that's going to be on April 26th. It's in the calendar that I published before. So if you do have a time to attend that, make sure you have it in your calendar. So we're going to continue talking more about a little bit more about search and local SEO, and then move on to search engine optimization, keyword research, and how to use Webmaster tools and all those different things. So, all right, thank you, ladies. You all have a great day.